Hello everyone, how are we doing today? All right, so my name is Chizobam Obiajuma, your coach here at Girls Learning Network. I already posted a video where I introduced what Girls Learning Network is all about and I introduced myself to you. So if you have watched that video, then that means you should already know who I am. And also, the video that we posted, we talked about how tiny changes, okay, can make huge differences in your lives. Okay, so how you know little bits of improvements here and there, whatever you're doing, how those small changes, okay, can cause huge significant improvements and differences in your life or your career or your business or whatever you're doing. What we talked about then, we got the inspiration from the book called Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. I don't know if you've read that book, but if you've not, you need to read it. And if you've read it, then you'll understand better what we're talking about. So this video is inspired by that book, especially from the introductory part of the book. So I won't go so much into it in this video because we already have a video where we talked about it and we gave an introduction of how small changes, little improvements can cause significant changes and results in your life and whatever you're doing. So, but if you've not watched that video, I'm going to link it in the description box. The link will be in the description box. So you can just click on it and watch it. Okay, because it sets a foundation to what we're going to be talking about today. And what are we going to be talking about today? But before we get into that, let me give a quick recap of what Girl Sign Network YouTube channel is all about. So in case if you've not watched the very first video we posted, at least this should be able to give you an idea of what we are doing here. Okay, so Girl Saying Network is a platform, and as you can see here, is a YouTube channel where we come to learn things that would elevate the lives of young girls and young women. So in whatever area of your life, be it in career, business, health, relationship, marriage, finance, your faith life, lifestyle, whatever it is, okay, on this channel you're going to be learning diverse topics, okay, a wide array of topics that would help you to improve, become better, and elevate these areas of your life. And we're going to be getting, guests that will be coming here to handle different topics and all that. A lot of varieties will begin on this channel. So if these are the kind of things you want to learn, if you want to become better in every area of your life, then this is the place for you. Okay, all right. So now on today's video, we're going to be talking about how little changes, how small changes can cause significant improvements and yield you beautiful results in your career. If you're a career lady or a career woman, maybe you're trying to build a career in a certain area, or you're already building a career in that area and you want to become better, you want to grow, you want to climb the corporate ladder and all that, or you're doing your own thing and you want to grow in that career that you're building for yourself, then this video is for you. In whatever area that career may be it in the tech sector, in the health sector, in the education sector, in the political sector, in the non-profit sector, whatever area it is, this video is for you. It would help you if you really want to grow in your career, if you want to be part of the top 1% in your career. I don't mean top 1% females in your career, no, the top 1% in your career, whether females or males. Okay, so this video is for you, and we are going to the things we're going to be talking about will be from based on what we shared in our last video. But don't worry, even if you've not watched it, you'll be able to fully understand what we'll talk about and you can run with it. Okay, but still do well to watch the first video so you can understand so much better and have more knowledge and more insights of how to become a better version of yourself in your career path. Okay, all right, now let's get right into the first thing we are going to be talking about in this topic. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to be talking about is the 1% principle. And this emanated from James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits. Okay, so his principle, his ideology is that if you're able to make 1% improvement in your life every day, by the end of the year, you would have improved in about 37%. And he adopted this principle in his life and he saw the results, and he also did it in the lives of others who he was mentoring and all that. Just 1% improvement every day in your life, you see about 37% improvement by the end of the year. Now, if you're a career person, this 1% could mean a lot of things to you. It could be if you can read one page of a book that has to do with your career path every day, by the end of the year, you can imagine how many books you'd have read. Now, let's say you're into broadcasting, you're into journalism, okay, that's your career path, and you really want to grow in that area. Okay, now find books that are written by renowned broadcasters who have built a solid career in this area. Read those books. Just start with one page a day, because if you say, oh, read a book in a week, read a book in a month, if you just heard that, you'd already start getting overwhelmed and all that. But no, we try to break it down. Read one page a day. From there you can progress to reading 5 pages in a day. Before you know it, you're reading 10 pages in a day. But let's just start with one page a day. By the end of a month, you would have read about, let's say, 30 to 40 pages in a month. Because guess what happens? By the time you start reading one page in a day, by the fifth day, sixth day, you wouldn't know when you would have read 3 pages that day. It starts becoming an interesting lifestyle to you, an exciting adventure for you. By the end of the month, you would have finished 1 or 2 books. Yes, just try it. I'm speaking from experience. Just try it. Just one a day. Now, it could be another thing, right? Let's say you're working in a company and you have weekly meetings, okay, with the directors or with the MD or with the CEO. And usually in these meetings, you don't really talk so much. You don't really show yourself. You're always very humble. You keep quiet. You don't give any contribution in these meetings. Now, why don't we do this? Okay, let's do this. Now, what if in those weekly meetings, try as much as possible to give one very solid idea, one solid suggestion, one solid contribution per meeting. Let's just start with one solid one that you know that there's no way they can resist it, that you know that they must implement this idea. Just one. Let's start with it. Okay, so you see, there are different ways you can do this. Okay, still talking about career, maybe a sales professional, you're working for a company, and you're the sales lead, or just a member of the sales team. Now, why don't you make this your goal? One client per day, or let's just say one client per week. One client per week that would actually exchange value for money. I don't mean the client that will say, okay, I'll get back to you. No, the client that will actually pay. Just one per week, make it your target. One is actually small, okay, but it depends on the kind of organization you're working with. Let's say it's a real estate company. Oh, one per week is fantastic. But let's say it's a food company, or where they bake cake or they sell food products, then one per week is really small. Even one per day is small, but you're getting the whole idea, right? So you see how the 1% principle works. Start with little, before you know it, it begins to grow. But start first, because you will keep procrastinating. Oh, I'll start. When you start making the goals too big and ambiguous, you begin to lose interest even before you start. No. So start in a way that you know that it will be hard for you to even lose interest, because you're already looking so small. Just start. But then you start seeing results, you'll be gingered, motivated, inspired, encouraged to do more. Okay, so that's the first one. And now let's go to the second one, which is very similar to the first one too. And this came about from the story I read of Ali Abdal. I shared about him in the first video. A YouTuber, he was a medical doctor. He was producing videos just to help medical students pass their exams. From there, he ventured into producing videos on study habits, productivity tips, and all that. And then the COVID struck, everyone was at home, and he kept producing those videos, and the whole thing skyrocketed. In 16 months, he had about 100,000 subscribers. Right now, he has over 4 million subscribers. But he said something. How did he start? What was he doing? His simple goal target, this whole success that he has now, his simple goal target then was what? Just to push out one video per week. One video per week. And he did it for a very long time, and the results showed. So it's not just about the intensity of the work you're doing, but about the consistency. So don't just come up and do something, in a whole week you've done this, done that, then the remaining 3 weeks of that month, nothing, everywhere crickets. No. It's better you're consistent. It's better you do something twice every week, twice every you're known for it, results are showing up, than being a one, what they call, is it one time wonders. So yeah, so I'm encouraging you. Okay, I like using very practical examples, right? So let's say you are you're in a consulting firm, right? You're working for them. I mean, part of your work there is to get clients. Okay, now why don't you make it your goal to get one solid client for the organization per week, or three solid clients for the organization per week. Make it your goal, stick to it, don't make it too much, start with little first. Okay, you will see that when you set these goals that way, you will see how the results will begin to show. So whatever career path you want to grow in, okay, just start with little, set those goals, you'll see how you'd accomplish them. Most times we think that, oh, career growth, career advancements will come about by one big promotion that we're waiting for, or a new job or something. No, most times it comes by this little task of improvement that you do every day in your career. Okay, it could be, oh, I would improve in my email writing by 1% every day, or I would learn one coding shortcuts, or one something. So little by little, just like that, and that's how it would grow. So in whatever career path you're in, whatever organization that you're working for, ask yourself, what's one thing that I can do every day that will take me to the next level? What's one thing that I can do every week that will take me to the next level? Is there an email that I can write every day, one email to a particular group of organization or clients or whatever, that I can write every day that will take me to the next level? What's that one thing? What's that one thing? Is it to write one page of my book, or one chapter of my book, or two pages of my book every day to grow in my career as an author, or as a writer, as a fiction writer, and all that? What's that one thing? The power of one thing. Find it. Yes, you can. What's that one insightful LinkedIn post that I can put out every day? What's that one content that I can push out on TikTok, on Instagram every day? Okay, what's that one side project that you can carry out every week, every month, that will take your career to the next level? What's that one thing? Okay, now the third thing we're going to be talking about is from a man called Benjamin Franklin. What do I mean? So I shared this in the other video too. Now let me give a little recap. So this man came up with this idea. Okay, so he wanted to have some virtues. He wanted to inculcate some virtues in his life. And so he came up with this idea of focusing on one virtue per week. So he outlined the virtues, things like consistency, to stop procrastinating, diligence, chastity, honesty, humility, and all that. So each week he will just focus on that one particular virtue. Like, each this week, I'm committed to being humble. So that whole week, whatever will make him to exhibit signs of pride, he will crush them. Okay, let's say this week he wants to be honest. That was the virtue for the week. That week, whatever I'm doing, I must be honest. That was what he did, and this man became one of the best men in history, really. I'm sure many people know about him. Now, how can you put this into your career? How can Now check yourself, where are the areas that you're lacking in your career? Are you having problems with time management? Are you having problems with being consistency? Are you having challenges being diligent in your work? Are you fond of procrastinating? Are you having signs of laziness? What are they? What are those things that your managers are always complaining about, that your upliners are complaining about, that that you're not doing well in, and that might be the reason why you might get a sack letter very soon? What are they? Write them down. Now begin to focus on one. Let's say one per week. Let's just start as little as that. Focus on one per week. This week, I'm going to manage my time so well. You become so conscious of it. The next week, oh, this week I'm going to give an extra time to my work, maybe an extra 1 hour. Or okay, it could also be the same the whole time and everything. So you can say, this week I'm going to learn one new tool that will be helpful in my work. Okay, So just think about it. Those virtues that you want, whatever they are, list them out. Try and focus on one per week. Rotate it. When you're done, maybe they are 15. When you're done at the end of 15 weeks, start again. Do you know what happens when you're doing this? Even if you're focusing on one virtue per week, because your whole mind is on having that particular virtue that week, you wouldn't know when you begin to inculcate the other virtues that same week. That's how it happens, because they all work together. Other virtues that you could also inculcate could be networking. You can say, oh, this week I'll focus on networking. I'll check online, offline, the people that I need to network with, the people that I need to know, I need to be connected with. This week, that will be my focus. That will be my target. Or this week, I'll work on my strategic listening skills. Or this week, I'll work on my communication skills. I'll work on my email writing skills. I'll work on my public speaking skills. Yeah, very powerful. And as you do them, you track your progress, you reflect, you go back again. And trust me, by the time you do this for a long time, you'll be the best thing after agege bread. If you're Nigerian, you know what I mean. So the next one is what we call the Kaizen principle. This should be the fourth one, the Kaizen principle. And this came about by the Toyota company. Now we know Toyota, the car manufacturing company. Now they had this idea many years ago of every single staff in the company giving one suggestion every day for improvement, either in their products, their service, or in their processes, their work processes. Just give us one suggestion every day of how we can improve what we are doing. Just one every day. Everyone, from the least person in the organization, from the gatesman, the cleaners, to the CEO, to the directors, give us one suggestion every day. How can we improve what we are doing? Okay, and after a very long time, they found out that they had a lot of ideas of or a lot of suggestions of how to improve their products or their service delivery or their process. A lot of them. And they're not just getting these ideas and suggestions, they were working on them. As they're getting them, they were working on them, they were improving. And this was what led to the Toyota production system being a very strong and solid one, even till now, after how many years. So that was where the Kaizen law came about. Now, how can you implement this in your career? Ask yourself, how can I improve every day in what I'm doing? As a salesperson, what's the one thing, one area that needs improvement that I can work on today? What is that one area, that one thing, just one every day, one suggestion, one improvement? Check your career each day. Check, how can I improve in this area? What's one thing I can do that can make this area better, that can make me to grow my career? What's one thing? No matter how late, no matter how tiny, no matter how insignificant it may seem, put it down, work on it. Trust me. You don't want to know the result that will show. It will show, the results will show, it will tell. Just try it. And by the way, you would have noticed that all these principles I'm sharing are all similar, all look alike, all sound alike. Yes, they all work together. Whether it's the 1% principle or the power of one thing or whatever, they all work together. Okay. And now the next one we're going to be talking about came about from Stephen King. Okay, it came from him. So what did he do? He's a prolific writer. He wrote so many books, so many wonderful books, novels, short stories, and all that. I think he wrote about 60 novels and about 200 short stories. Yes, you can Google him, you can read some of his books. Very powerful writer. Now, his simple idea around his writing career was to write 2,000 words every day. Come rain, come shine, no matter what was happening, 2,000 words per day. And of course, I've already told you the result, how many novels and how many short stories he wrote. Now your own could be different. Okay, what could it be? It must not be 2,000, it may not even be 1,000, it may not even be 500. It could be 10, 20, it could be one, as you've been mentioning all this while. Okay, you can ask yourself, what's one idea that I can pitch every day to my line manager or to the CEO of the company? Yeah, it could be via email or in person. What's one idea I can pitch to them every day? There's no way. See, they can't say, It's too much every day. You're sending me one idea of how we can improve our product. I was like, they cannot. What? There's no way you not go in that career. Just try it. You really want to get tired of it. Just try it. There's no way you not grow in that career. There's no way, where the heart of a man is, right? That's where he stretch your life. So there's no way it can be, that career path that you're in, that place you're working. There's no way you can say to your manager, one way we can improve our products or something, that they will not bring you close, that they will be sacking people and then add it to the number. No. Okay, so it could be, what's one new skill that I can practice every day for 20 minutes that'll help me grow in my career? Let's say a data analyst. Okay, what's one new skill I need to learn in SQL today? What's one new skill or one new shortcut I need to learn in Excel today? What's one new skill I need to learn inside Power BI today? What's one new Python skill that I need to hack this week? There's no way you will not do so well in your career. Most times you sign up for a lot of certifications. Let me break some tables. We sign up for a lot of certification manuals, certification courses that we end up not taking. Some are paid, very painful. You spend your money and it's just lying waste. And some are free. Most times they are free. Maybe a free course and you sign up and you don't, value it. Why? And yet that thing would help you grow in your career, and yet you're complaining. No promotion, nobody's looking at your way in the office, or the way they're looking at you this week, they might sack you next week and all that. Why? When you have these things, take this course, 10 pages of it or 10 minutes of it, dedicate it to this course this week. How won't you go? Why won't you go? How? Why? The next one is what we call skill by skill mastery. Skill by skill mastery, and this is inspired by no other person but Serena Williams. Now, if you've not watched the last video we posted, let me give you a hint of what we mean, right? So we all know Serena Williams, of course. You should. All right, top athlete, and how did she grow in her career? Now, this was what she was doing even when the father was training her. When she wasn't being trained by the father again, she was learning a particular skill per each training session. And in another way, she was also working on a particular part of her body each training session. Let's say, each training session she wants to focus on her hitting skill, all those different skills in tennis. Okay, or this week, her hand movement, she wants to focus on it and get it right. Her leg movement, the next training session, she wants to focus on it and get it right. That was what she was doing. That was one of her secrets. Now, how can you put this into work in your career? Okay, now why don't you ask yourself, how can I do, what way can I do better this week? So you can make it per week, per day, per month, depending on the magnitude of it. Okay, you can say, this week I'll focus on my communication skills. The next week on my collaboration skills with my team members. The other week, I would focus on this area. Okay, so instead of putting everything together, this whole week I'll do this, I'll do that. No, at the end of the day you don't do anything. So why don't you focus on this one particular thing this week, this one particular area the other week? That was what Serena Williams did. So find a way to incorporate it in your career. And like I said earlier, you see that all these things I'm sharing all work together. And now the last but not the least that we're going to be talking about is inspired by someone called Dave Braceford and the British cycling team. Now, for a very long time, for many years, the British cycling team were doing very poorly, very poorly, very, very poorly. And because of that, they were not getting funding, of course, no recognitions, nothing. And now they thought to themselves, okay, why don't they bring someone, a coach who is very good, who can help the team to improve? Let them just try and see. And they brought in Dave Braceford. And now what this man do? He looked at the team. He evaluated the team very critically and asked himself this question: what are those areas that we can improve on, no matter how small, no matter how tiny, that by the time they accumulate, we can see huge improvements in the team? He looked at those areas. He looked at how the sleeping time of the British cycling team, the time they wake up, their feeding habits, their meal schedule, the massage oil you use on their body, their sleeping position, everything, everything, where they live, everything. He looked at everything, no matter how tiny or insignificant it might look. He looked at everything and was looking for a way to improve every single part of the lives of the British cycling team. And of course, the results will always show after after some time, right? They saw improvements, and this team won about how many gold medals in Olympics and other medals too in Olympics, and they started doing so well, so well. You can google it. So now, to conclude this, okay, look at all the strategies that we've shared. Check your life, check your career. Okay, how can you implement these things in what you're doing? Okay, what's one book you need to write that will take your career to the next level? What's one skill you need to learn? Who is that one person you need to meet? Where is that place you need to go? What's that conference you need to attend? What's that certification that you need to get that will take your career to the next level? Look at these things critically. Take one, implement it this week. Take one, implement it today. Take one, implement it the next day. Do it. Even if you're not seeing results initially, keep doing. Don't be discouraged. Track your progress. Keep doing it. And believe you me, you see the results. So I hope you've learned something today. Of course, I know you have. Okay. Today is about career. The next video will be talking about another area of our lives. Okay. If you like this video, which I know you do, please like, leave a comment below, let me know what you think about it, the things you want us to talk about. Hit the subscription button, turn on post notifications so you don't miss any videos. Share the video with someone so they can also watch and learn. Okay, until I see you in my next video. All right, so take care of yourself, keep winning, and be the superstar that you have been created to be. All right, bye.